Laptop, flash drive.
Flash drive.
Is that the easiest?
Yeah, that'd be the easiest.
First file on, it should be right on top, 76 annual.
Okay. This one.
600 meter, yeah, that would be it. It says final on it, so imagine that's it. Usually we have a PowerPoint for the finances also.
I'll leave it in there.
I'll be right back.
How you doing, Larry?
You don't look that busy.
Oh, it's all in the mind. You got your mind is right.
That's what it is. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, we're knowledge workers back here.
This is the place to be.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy.
And you too. You got the color scheme for the day there. Black and white.
You're ready to go.
Black and white and gray. Yeah. Tracy's got black and
Looking
white.
good. Well, enjoy.
We will. You too. Yeah, you say hi.
says which slides are shown when whoever's talking. So you can see that, like Sally's gonna do the opening and then Patty comes up. So you kind of know where we are in the slideshow. Okay? That's just for your reference. Yeah.
So what? Yeah, I did. There was right here. Oh, she's checking.
Oh, battery second. Thank you.
Good color scheme choice. Match this.
It's really good. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, I can hear you.
They're all your friends.
I know everybody.
Yeah, see? That's all you're doing. You're just saying, this is gonna be fun. This is what I want to do.
We've all boogied together.
There you go,
That's what
right?
I-
Right? Well, you'll see in the slide, the one and only picture I have of you is Ed teaching you to dance. So it's cropped. You can see a little bit of Ed's profile, but that is your picture on the slide.
Oh. Word. I'm gonna be famous. The man next day.
So, because I'll need you guys
What
to,
is it?
I'll need you
Oh.
guys to move the slides along.
All right.
Okay, so, and don't worry, it's different every year and how well it goes or doesn't go. So whatever we do, I'm sure it'll be fine. It's just fun.
Yes, well, I'm sure there'll be a corporate board evaluator out there. Grading us, scoring us against all the other congregations.
No matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in not knowing that whether if you come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's drink together. The love and we love. From the blissed out to the turned out. From the pampered to the abused. This door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. God in us recognizes the God in you. Whether you're black or white or gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
Good morning, Claremont Center for Spiritual Living. How are you this morning? Great, nice to see all of you. I'm Reverend Tracy and delighted to welcome you to this morning tradition we have on Sundays of coming together in love and fellowship and fun and music and all kinds of good things. So glad you're here. I want to say hello to our friends online. We're glad you're here with us too. It takes a village, and it doesn't matter if you're inside the same four walls or not. What matters is where your heart is. So if this is your spiritual home, welcome. And if you're not sure yet, welcome anyway. Wherever you are on your spiritual path, there's room for you here. So thank you all. All right, let's see who's playing with me on platform this morning. Our practitioner is the lovely Nisa Rose. You may know Nisa from our Wednesday night meditation that's online every week. And if you were in meditation this morning, she was there for that too. And she'll be doing our opening invocation and a reading to get us started. And we have some music. Thank you, Jeff, for playing keyboards. And welcome back, Rick Dale. And we are going to start with a song. The words are in your program. Spirit is in this house. Let's dance. Taking all that joy, all that energy, and bringing it within. I invite you to just take a breath, take a moment, close your eyes, and let the sound of the bowl take you into your heart space, where that joy, that music, that connection is always, always available. That place within where we remember that you and I and Spirit are all one.
And in this place of oneness, we breathe in the joy, breathe in the essence of divine source energy, knowing that each person here does receive that which is exactly perfect for them to hear this day, this moment. We know that Reverend Tracy's message for us today, drawn out of the infinitude of all possibility, infuses each one here with that same infinitude of possibility. I know each one here names and claims their highest and best good. Knowing it is so, in gratitude. And so it is. Good morning. So my reading today is from the Science of Mind, May 2010, and it is entitled Sailing in Possibilities. Winston Churchill has been quoted as saying, "We're shaping the world faster than we can change ourselves, and we're applying to the present the habits of the past." The Science of Mind, page 490, says, "The world is saturated with divinity, immersed in reality, and filled with possibility. We must take this divine possibility and mold it into a present actuality." I'm not a sailor. Put me in an airplane at an altitude above the clouds and I'm fine. Put me on a cruise ship and I spent the first day trying to keep the boat afloat with affirmations. I'm even worse in a sailboat. But one thing I know for sure, in both an airplane and a sailboat, the captain is charged with directing the course. The captain does not control the skies or the ocean, but does have the skills and guidance to navigate through them. We are similar to a ship sailing on an ocean of possibilities. We are on a lifetime voyage through time and space, and how we navigate our experiences is up to us. No matter what the conditions around us are, there is a guidance within each one of us and a set of skills we can learn in order to create satisfying lives. We are each the captain of our vessel and responsible for the choices and changes as we chart our course. One of our great challenges is to recognize habitual mindsets and directions that no longer apply to today's world. By using our spiritual practices, we will recognize new possibilities and we will sail through the changes and challenges of life. There is a source of life within that urges us onto the right course through intuition and a sense of rightness. Today I connect with my divine possibilities. I hear, listen, and act upon them. I draw upon the wellspring of vital energy and unlimited love within me and sail forward into a satisfying experience of life. And so it is.
Yeah.
I'm no good in the sailboat either. I'm a singer. Well, this is still the month of love, right? We human beings are pretty strange animals, and we get distracted by worries and regrets and fears and all that stuff, and really all we have to do is love. So that's what this song is. All I've got to do. Stepping out of my front door, TV said there's a chance of rain. Sky filled with swollen clouds, afraid I'll soon be soaked again. Baby, the sky is falling, familiar fear is calling me. But I'll go out anyway, there's something in me bigger than I see. Walk into a crowded room and I don't recognize a soul. I can feel the stranger's stares, their eyeballs drilling the hole. Maybe it's in my mind, the fear is just behind the blinds. But I hold out my hand and meet some humans of every different kind. And if God is all there is, there's not a thing to be afraid of. And if God is within me, all I've got to do is love. All I've got to do is love. All I've got to do is love. yourself, staring destruction in the face. Looks like the sky is falling, and that old fear is calling you. But you are not alone, there's something in you, powerful and true. And if God is all there is, there's not a thing to be afraid of. And if God is within you, all you've got to do is love. All you've got to do is love. All you've got to do is love. All you've got to do is love.
Like that song. Thank you, Rick. All right, so we are lighting the candle for many things this morning that all happened on the same day. Tuesday night, Ramadan study. That was Fat Tuesday leading into Ash Wednesday, the beginning of Lent. And it was also the beginning of the Chinese Lunar New Year. Something that does not happen on the same day in the burning calendar, hardly ever, like I don't remember when. But all different traditions, all with the same messaging, to reflect, to fast, to refrain, to celebrate, to renew, to care for each other. And when we're in these times of fear and division and antagonism, it's a season that reminds us that joy and intention and compassion can all meet at the same crossroads. And I want to tell you a little bit about the Lunar New Year. We're moving into the year of the fire horse. I like horses better than snakes, personally. So we do the year of the snake. It has its place, but I really like the horse. So here's a little bit about the 5 elements of this year. The fire. Passion returns. What felt dormant is ignited, and your desire becomes your direction. It's all about movement, that stagnation that you feel is ending, and what's been stuck finally shifts and momentum begins to build. It's about courage, dissolving hesitation, and fear doesn't disappear, you just stop letting it lead us. Freedom. What confines you breaks open. Relationships, jobs, beliefs, whatever caged you falls away. And speed. Things move quickly this year. Opportunities don't wait, and neither should you. So ride that horse this year. So we're speaking this month about embracing the edge. And we're talking this week about being on the edge of the possible. We know what we know, and beyond that is mystery. Now, some things we know we can learn. Some things we didn't know we needed to learn. Some things we'd rather not learn. And really what happens is we get to the edge of what we do know, and a lot of times we stop right there. And forget that that mysterious darkness is also where things are born and things grow, and where change happens. That threshold is the place of transformation. Howard Thurman reminds us that we often hide in our words. You could also say in our busyness. You know, we fill the air just to avoid stillness, because what happens in the stillness is we have a tendency to go deep. And you know, what is within us is similar to what is outside of us. We know what we know about ourselves, and to go any deeper can be intimidating, can be frightening. What if I don't really want to know how I really feel about life? But Science of Mind teaches that spirit is always speaking, and often the clearest voice comes from the silence within. We teach prayer, we teach meditation, we teach that ability and the skill it takes to become still so that we might be able to hear what wants to rise up from within us. Because the energy of life is always growing, always blooming, always planting and developing, always unfolding. And we stop our own growth if we aren't willing to let the seed germinate and sprout. How many of you do treatments and then you revisit that treatment every single day? It's kind of like digging it up to see if it's growing yet. We all do it sometimes. But the thing is that the idea that we can create a world that works for everyone, we start with ourselves and take it out into the world. To be able to do that, it's not just the actions that we take, but it's the listening that we do. How do we know the right thing to do? How do we know the next step? If we're in tune, if we're in alignment with our spiritual nature, we're going to be nudged in a particular direction. We're going to be inspired by a particular idea. It's going to resonate, it's going to feel right. But in order to do that, you have to turn the volume down on everything else. How many of you turn the volume down when you're trying to follow directions in the car? You're older, you know you do. We do our work and then take it into the world. There's a power in community. There's a power when you're together with people working towards a common goal, looking to embody a common idea, looking for ways to live a philosophy that speaks to every heart in the room. When we share silence, we actually germinate something new. We actually make room for that collective wisdom to come forth. So I'm going to take you into the silence. Now let me talk about this for just a second. For some of you, dropping into the silence, Lisa, it's super easy. For some of us, me, it's not super easy. I get squirmy. I either get squirmy in my body, I don't want to sit still, I don't want to leave my eyes closed, or I get squirmy in my mind and I start thinking of all the things I still have to do and what have I, I don't need to tell you. But again, there's power in that stillness. And so what I'm going to invite you to do is take a breath, and wherever you are, if you're joining us online, wherever you are, take a breath and close your eyes. And I don't want you to do anything differently except pay attention to your own breathing. Feeling the breath move in and out moves us into this moment, into the very body that you inhabit now. Simply allow your breath to move through you. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to think about. There's nothing to know. We are simply being in this space. With each breath, allow yourself to relax a little more and go a little deeper and get a little more still. And I invite you to ask yourself gently, what's possible for me? What's possible for me? Simply allowing whatever wants to rise, whether it's a word or a picture or a feeling. Just feel and allow and listen. to your breathing. Allow yourself to surface back into this room. And I would ask, did anybody have anything surface? Maybe unexpected, maybe expected. Okay, just means you need to be silent more, doesn't it? You see, silence isn't the absence of communication, it's where it's born. It's that place of the heart that knows, that doesn't speak in a very loud voice. I mean, sometimes we're really clear on what our passion is and what we want to do next and what's pulling us out into life. But a lot of times there's more going on than whatever we're doing every day. A lot of times there's a different question to ask or a different place to be in, physically or metaphorically. There's something else within us that wants to be expressed. Because that's the nature of life, is to express, to press out. So when we stand at the edge of what we already know, and don't see that threshold as a barrier, but instead as a way, a path, a step into transformation, we are invited to ask the question, what's next? What's here for me? What am I being called to? And then to listen for the answer, because Holmes will tell you, there is something in you that knows. It knows. And it doesn't have to be that you know everything about it. You simply need to know your next step. So one way to practice is to choose consciously to lean into that silence, maybe set aside a few minutes every day to turn everything off. No phone, no TV, no music, no conversation, and just listen. Maybe it's while you sip that first cup of coffee. Maybe it's that break in between meetings. Maybe it's on the drive. Don't doze when you're driving. But you can pause before you get out of the car and just listen. We're reminded that silence isn't empty. And Holmes urges us to live so fully in and from spirit that a new glory dawns through us. We want to be the light of the world. We've got to let it shine. That means we have to be open. And one of the ways to be open is to get still. Langston Kahn wrote, when we move into the unknown inside of us and embrace the inarticulate edge of our current awareness, if we're willing to stay there, feeling with our whole hearts, and not leaping back into our minds to escape the uncertainty, new wisdom is born and transformation can occur. So when we stand on the edge of the possible, we need to lean beyond what we think, what our opinions are, what we already know, how we think it's going to go, and dare to envision something different. Without imagination, nothing comes into being that is new. And yet new things are happening all the time. Wouldn't you like those new things to be positive and uplifting and supportive and peaceful? We can do that. Both Howard Thurman and Ernest Holmes remind us to lift our sights away from the small. And they're talking about, we see big problems and we make little tiny fixes to kind of keep ourselves comfortable. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but if that's all you do, those uncomfortable things will keep happening because all you're really doing is giving yourself a little relief in the moment. You know from relationships that if you make the peace in a moment or walk away from an argument for, temporarily, at some point, if you don't come back and address the issue, that's going to happen again and again and again. That peace will not last. It's no different within us and it's no different in the world. So we want to raise our sights away from the ego's big idea of how to live life, which is to stay comfortable and stay safe, and instead be willing to know what is there for us to do that addresses the big picture, that lets us step into our full power, not make do, but simply be creative in the world and make peace. One of the things that I was reading this week, again in Howard Thurman, is that if we align our collective consciousness, our group consciousness, with that vision, like Holmes talks about, the power greater than we are, if we're in alignment with that, we are multiplying our impact on the world. And if we can remember that the edge is not this metaphorical cliff that we're going to fall off into the abyss, but rather that threshold where our faith, where our philosophy meets action, where imagination meets the law, and where we can step boldly into a larger idea of who we are and what we can co-create together, then we are standing in our power. And we are moving together. Because I don't know about you, I try to do it by myself and I'm tired. It's too much. But I come here. It doesn't matter how tired I am when I walk in the door. I come here. And we do this together for an hour. And I walk out of here just Thank you. So here's a couple things about the times we're living in. We're living in a time of outrage fatigue. Would you agree with that? Outrage fatigue. That's the worst kind of fatigue I can even imagine. The thing is, we react to all the injustice and the things that anger us, but it's hard to move and really make some transformative actions, right? We want, again, small picture, big picture. What would it look like instead of exhausting ourselves with little baby fixes everywhere, running around trying to keep the peace in our little tiny world? What if we actually believed that things in the world can shift, that the dynamics of my own family can ease, that my own desire to have a grander life, whatever that means to me, is possible? What if I shifted my thinking into really believing that it's possible? What if I allowed myself to say, I know this stuff works, right? I know this, being able to set an intention and believe in the power that is part of me, to carry it out, to show me how, to make a way forward. If I really know that to be true, it's true for everything. It's true for everyone. We all have that. So instead of asking what's wrong, there's a lot of things wrong. The real question is, what's next? What's next? Not what's next like how much worse can it get. That doesn't help at all. It's what's next like, what is that next step? What am I here to do? How might I be of service to my family, to my friends, to my center, to the world? What's next? And then remember too that if we have a vision, an imagination, a picture of what's possible, even though it's not visible yet, if we take what we think is impossible and see it and feel it as possible, we will have a way to walk forward into that, especially if we consciously choose to take at least one step every day in that direction. One step in that direction. If you went to college, you might have started out thinking that you knew what your major was going to be. And for most of us, that changed somewhere along the way, right? That first step was important to get us in the door. The next class we took maybe took us further down that same path, and we went, oh, you know what? This is not nearly as fun as I thought it would be. But this over here, right? We change our plans all the time when we are in tune with what our heart is telling us. So if we are willing to say what's next and continue to move, we will find like-minded people to move with us, and we will bring all of that energy together and affect positive change in the world. That's the way it works. The thing is, the edge of what's possible is not comfortable. How many of you have noticed it's not comfortable here? calls us to get past our habits. It calls us to notice that we are afraid and to decide that we're going to move anyway. It calls us to notice that our opinions may have been formed without all of the information present. Or perhaps our opinions were inherited from people who we no longer agree with. We have the ability to choose in every moment where we want our attention to be, where we want our heart to be fulfilled, how we might be a force for good. Every moment. So I'm going to invite you this week to pick an affirmation, something bold. I'm going to create peace in my workplace. Or what else? My health is of value to me. All that I do supports my health. Pick your affirmation. And then each day, one concrete action in that direction. One concrete act. That's just one banana in the middle of the day somewhere. That's all it takes. That's one step in the right direction. We can all do that. And if we all do that together, we are changing the world within and without. Holmes tells us we must relight the torch of our imagination by the fire caught from heaven. We must remain faithful to this vision for a realization of the presence, which is the secret power of our work. The pent-up energy of life and the possibility of further human evolution work through man's imagination and will. The time is now, and the place is right where we are. Namaste. So I invite you to join me in a moment of centering prayer. Taking a breath once again. And acknowledging that there is a power and a presence in this world that cannot be denied. That very energy and essence of life, which causes all things to grow and unfold, brings the grass up through the cracks in the sidewalk, brings the children up taller every year, expands our horizons into what we know and what we love every moment of every day. This energy, this power, this substance is what we are all made of, what life is made of. Which means that I am one with that absolute presence, with that consciousness of love, of joy, of wisdom. That what is in the power of life is in me. And so I speak a word for opening up in a greater way to that power within me. I speak a word of power in listening, choosing to go within, choosing the silence to allow my life to unfold in ever greater ways, as is its nature. And as I do this for myself, I see it happening all around me in everyone. That the power of life continues to expand and unfold, and to the degree that we are willing to stand in and as love, that growth will be loving. To the degree that we recognize that love expresses through us as compassion and kindness, the world will become a kinder place. What I know to be true is that the heart of everyone is a heart of love. And however misguided behavior may be, the ultimate truth of life is love. And it is a power of healing and wholeness. And for this I am grateful. I don't have to look for this love anywhere. It is right here. And I am grateful for that. Grateful for the greater understanding that shows me new ways to be in and of and as love. Grateful every time I'm able to recognize love from another. For truly, we are all walking this path together. And it is good. For it is all God. And so I simply allow my life, everyone's life, to unfold in the goodness that is, in the love that is, in the wisdom that exists in this presence of life. And trust and know that the highest and best is served for us all. And it is only love that makes that happen. And so it is. There's an affirmation in your program, and I invite you to take a look and repeat after me, allowing our friends online to participate as well. I am a co-creator of a world not yet imagined. Anything is possible. And so it is. All right. We welcome Rick Dale back to the stage.
And you talk God stuff. So listen up.
Yeah.
Be still and you'll hear stuff. Well, I wrote this song a while back, and I don't know how Tracy knew it, but she made her talk around the music today. So,
That's what happens, yeah.
yeah. And anyway, it's a dialogue between a human being and God, and so when you hear "talk to me," that's the human part, and when you hear "listen," that's God. See, listen. So it's called "Talk to Me." Talk to me in the darkness of my soul. I've been waiting all my life to hear you. Talk to me. Talk to me when I'm lonely and afraid. Caress my spirit with a word. Talk to me. I've been talking to myself since I first learned how, but I never knew how to listen until now. Sing to me in the beating of my heart, in the wind and rain and ocean. Sing to me. Won't you sing to me of the freedom that is mine? Make it clear and strong and beautiful. Sing to me. In the quiet of the night it came to me. It is done unto you if you only believe. Listen, I've been with you all along, responding to you every time you call. written all around you. I love you and I want you to. Listen, listen, talk to me. Listen, talk to me.
I love how that works. Two minds, really one mind. Perfect song, perfect song. All right, I'd like to invite our ushers to come forward, please. And just as a reminder that all that we give comes back to us, pressed down, heaped up, and overflowing. It creates a circulation, a flow, if you will, of abundance. That abundant flow is always present. And when we give, we're choosing to step into it. We're saying yes, yes to life, and life says yes back. So if you will, join me in saying our prosperity affirmation. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous now. So a couple things going on around here. First, we want to say thank you to Betty Francis for our beautiful flowers this Sunday. I'm not sure if you know, but we have an annual meeting right after service today. This is an opportunity to look back at all the fabulous things we did this last year, talk about the things we want to do for next year, elect a couple of board members. We have a couple people that are interested in stepping up and serving on the board, and thanking our folks that are rolling off, and, sharing a meal, because that's always a really good thing to do, right? That's 12 o'clock in Holmes Hall, so after service, we'll go next door, we'll have something to eat, lunch is being provided, and if you are not a member, you are still welcome to attend, just to hear what's going on. The only thing we ask you not to do is don't vote. But I don't think that's a problem here, so I think we'll all be good with that. And that's it for that piece. I know that we will have people dialing in from far and away, since we do have members that don't come on Sundays, so we'll have a lot of folks there. A couple things in the back of the room. We have a sign-up, an interest sheet if you are interested in taking a foundational class, a beginning class in Science of Mind that talks about how to apply these principles in your own lives. It's a great way to get started and to get a little depth of meaning to what we talk about every week. Put your name and phone number on the list. When we have several people that are interested, we'll talk about when and how and where we'll teach it and all of that so that it fits everyone's schedule. We also have a workshop coming up on Saturday, March 7th from 3 to 5. This is the Circle of Chairs. You may have heard of Circle of Chairs. It's an interfaith group that talks about social issues, really, a little bit of a spiritual perspective, but really just coming together in community about what's going on in the world and how you feel about it and what's going on. Yes, Mary? Apparently it's not spiritual.
No. The Circle of Chairs is different from our prayer and share. The Circle of Chairs is sponsored by the NAACP and,
right.
and the Baha'i, and it's secular, and it mostly focuses on, racial disparity. And the next one, the flyer is here, but the next, we've been focusing on should, DEI.
So, get it? Isn't that
Diversity,
cute?
equity, and inclusion die.
Should it die?
And it's part 2 of the last one.
Okay, thank you. I stand corrected. I got the Baha'i part, they're spiritual.
Yes.
I'm sure that NAACP is also. All right,
And it's at Pitzer College.
oh, thank you, yes. And the flyer's in the back, the little half-sheet flyer, you can take one with you if you'd like. Anything else? I think most of what else we're gonna talk about today will be next door. So, all right, let's stand up, move to the sides, and sing along with Eddie Walker's Jr.
Take a look at the person next to you. Say I love you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. Every walk of life.
No, we'll use the handout. I don't have that much to say.
Wow.
When I put these in, when I checked in this morning, it was right at the line. I went down.
I almost didn't use them because I'm on that arrow. Susie, you made it! You made it!
Hello! I listened to the whole service online.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so it worked out really well.
5 out of 5?
5 out of 5, of course.
I love you, honey.
It goes on Andy's desk.